national team event. So
Live in person?
yeah, yeah, they play in Puerto Rico. The FIBA window's here, so the women's team's playing
Oh,
here. It's great.
well, that's lit. But what's up, ladies and gentlemen? The Brew with Matt and Mike is here to break down the Washington versus Wisconsin game to share our thoughts on what we saw. And Mike, you were able to watch a little bit closer than I was because I was at work. I was trying to watch as much as I could, but I had to take care of business. Mike, give me your thoughts on what transpired.
Today was a good game overall. I think um, for the first 32 minutes of the game, I thought Wisconsin did a great job of controlling what they could control. The pace was very much Wisconsin, very much what Wisconsin wanted to do in terms of getting it up into the 70s, 80s, low 90s, even high 90s. That's where I think their point threshold has moved to. And then we got a nice lead. John Blackwell was a human flamethrower. I think he had 34 today or 36. He has the new Big Ten record for Wisconsin basketball in the Big Ten tournament. So congratulations to him. He hit big shot after big shot. They didn't really want to guard him, which was a little bit weird because he just kept hitting shots for them. And then the last they were up 18, and once we got up 18, for whatever reason, we turned back the clock and we're like, hey, we want to use clock. We don't want to, we want to play good defense and we want to play a slower pace, which really didn't make sense to me. I was like, yo, we got to keep scoring. We got to keep trying to get to 90, get to 90. Let's get to 90, and this game is over. They can't keep up. And for whatever reason, they slowed it down. And credit to Washington. They won by one. I think they won the glass. They won the backboard by 16. They got 45 rebounds compared to Wisconsin's 29. So that was a big reason that they stayed in the game and had that big comeback. But it's also great that you saw them close this game out because they've lost a couple of games like this earlier in the season. So it's great to see them be able to close it out and take care of business this way.
Yeah. And I just want to say a big observation that I had from the game today was that John Blackwell, looking at the overall big picture, John Blackwell, his balance these last two games looks really, really good. He looks very solid, not just shooting the three, not just the deep ball, but overall, he is looking healthier than we've seen him all year. So that is a very positive sign for Wisconsin moving forward.
Absolutely.
Mike, you want to break down what you saw from Blackwell a little bit, just get a little bit more granular versus obviously he put the ball in the hoop, but what was he doing to get himself in those situations to put the ball in the hoop?
You are spot on with that, Matt. He had some pop in his legs today. And the biggest thing, we've seen him get into the middle of the paint so much. And really, especially when he's dribbling with his left hand, he loves to put his right shoulders into defenders' chests, into their shoulders, into their hips, and really hit what we call a transition fade. You see him do it with his one leg very often. And today he had a couple where I thought he almost turned his ankle, and he still knocked down a couple of those bump fades in the middle. And yeah, he looked really fresh today, which we haven't seen from him. He didn't look like he was dragging his feet, on some of his drives, and he wasn't getting knocked off his line so much because those guards from Washington are strong. It's not like they're light lighting the loafers over there. They got some weight to them. So for me to see what that was, see that from John Blackwell was huge, and then obviously him knocking down shots at a very high clip. It was great to see. Love to see the confidence. Not sure what his celebration is. We can work on that, JB. I got some stuff for you if you need it. We can figure that one out for you.
Yeah. And then obviously giving John Blackwell a shout out. Got to give Boyd a shout out. 23 points. What I really liked from Boyd was he was there to set the tone right away in this game. He was
Mm-hmm.
bringing it on both sides of the court. I thought to start the game, Wisconsin was really getting after it defensively. It seemed like there was some trash talk online or in interviews, whatever it was. And I think Wisconsin took that a bit personally, and they were ready to rock and roll at the start of this game, especially Boyd. I mean, Boyd was just everywhere, making big plays. He was early on, he was cooking elite
Yes.
dribble penetration, but also in the pick and roll. He had back-to-back pick and rolls that were beautiful when Washington switched. He took a step back three, nailed it, and then on the other one, Garlock rolled, and there was a switch, and he found him perfectly in stride for the and one dunk. So Boyd
Mm-hmm.
was really the guy who set the tone for me today. He almost had a double-double, 9 assists, 23 points, and how many turnovers on today? 2 turnovers. I mean, high level stuff. I never thought that a 1 year player I would find as endearing as John Tonje, but Nick Boyd's right up there for me. He's right up there for me. And yeah,
Definitely.
so that was a big thing. I thought Wisconsin really was getting after it defensively to start the game, but I think yeah, late in the game, the big negative was the last 6, 7, 8 minutes, and yeah, Wisconsin totally forgot how to play basketball. Like it's you can't just drain
Wisconsin
the clock
basketball.
out. Yeah, like they're playing old school Wisconsin basketball, just draining the clock. They weren't playing any offense though. They were just milking the clock. They were holding on to the ball and really had no rhyme or reason offensively. Which this could be a
Yep.
good lesson for them. This could be a good lesson for them. And also, one other thought is I was thinking for the sake of the brew and moving forward, it's best that Wisconsin wins today. But I would say that actually, I take this back. I was thinking that it might not be the end of the world if they lost this, rest up, and the seeding. I don't think is super important at this point. Like I don't think you're going to move up a ton, and they might secure a 6 if they would have lost today. But you don't want to be the team that sets the record for the biggest lead blown ever in Big Ten tournament history.
No, no, man. They needed to win this game. I'm a firm believer of, if especially if you're the better team, those, going in. Oh, well, thank you, Caroline, 1982. We
I
appreciate
appreciate
your
you.
help, your support. This is lovely. But no, the biggest thing is for the Badgers is the seeding is still happening. It's not that it's not happening, and you losing to Washington might go sour for some people because we're always we're our own worst enemies. Whatever has happened most recently, we have recency bias. So for me, I think it was very important that they win this game, and then you go and show your stuff against Illinois and see what happens. Right? I think Illinois is a little bit healthier right now, and I'm really excited for that matchup because I also, I was really looking forward to watching Wisconsin play Illinois again because I think that's just going to be a heck of a basketball game. So for the purist in me, I understand you want them to, rest or whatever. Like, now from pure basketball standpoint, I was hanging out on my couch after practice, had a little bit of food, and watched some high level basketball. It sounds like a dream for me. I'm good. I'm living it right now.
No, you have to compete. I agree. You have to compete. But yeah, I just hope we make it out of this tournament. Everyone is healthy, and
Yeah.
I don't want them to be too drained. Last year, I thought they were a little bit drained heading into Denver, and by the time they got to BYU just came out just so ready to go, and it felt like Wisconsin was a step slow going to altitude, and also just making their way through a few grinder of games to the Big Ten tournament championship. Uh, but yeah, Mike, I also want to say that Nick Boyd cracks me up with how every time he gets a bucket early on in that game, he is ready to start
Love it.
chirping that bench. It kills me. It's like Nick Boyd reminds me of my elderly boxer dog who will see an old lady walking by the house and she is ready to give him the business. That's Nick Boyd chirping the other team's bench every single time. He doesn't miss, and neither does my elderly dog. My dog sees like an old 80-year-old person shuffling down the sidewalk. She's gonna be barking hard, and Nick Boyd is the exact same way. So but I do love it. I mean, if I Nick Boyd wasn't on the Badgers, like I would not like it, and I would dislike him. As if he was playing for Washington and he was doing all that chirping. But you can love to have a guy like that on your team. Every now and then, you need a guy like that on your team to set the tone, just have that hyper competitiveness.
Well, I got a question for you. When are you a big chirping guy? Like, do you like to do the chirp? Are you active in the chat, or you're just over here like we got to play the game. We got to be, good sportsmanship all the way through. How do you feel about that?
I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm somewhere in the middle on that. Like yeah, I was taught, and one of the biggest virtues that my dad tried to instill in me was like humility. My dad's a big humility guy, and like acting like you've been there before. So I love it from a fan perspective. I enjoy seeing what Nick Boyd is doing. But if I was like, if I was coaching, I don't know if I would limit that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm somewhere in the middle on that. I like acting like you've been there before, but I also enjoy seeing what Boyd's doing. What about you?
All right. It depends on the environment for me. I've really cooled out and chilled out a lot as I've gotten older, but there will be some environments. Playoff games get me that way, and especially if there is like if somebody does it to me first, and I think it's not in good fun, then and I start hitting a couple of shots, I'll let you know about it. Like
That's
you're
fair.
gonna know that you're gonna know I hit a couple shots, just so you know. And if you really want to come back to me, it's like okay, cool, like no problem. I'll find a way to get you back in some way, manner, shape, or form. I was raised in a bunch of old man open gyms, so I got a lot of tricks. I'm ready.
100%. 100%. And yes, he 1000% backs it up, no doubt. And like I said, I love watching Nick Boy. What he is doing is just a masterclass. He's been unbelievable for Wisconsin, and also just pivoting off of Wisconsin, actually responding to Badger fanatic. Yes, I agree.
Uno.
Washington does have some horses. They do have some horses on
Yeah,
their team. I mean, they got a first round pick. They got some good athletes. Some of the guys aren't too skilled, but they're good athletes nonetheless. So yeah, Washington was ready to play. And yes, John Blackwell is looking better than he's had since November, December. He looks really good. His balance is back. He just looks like a stronger player out there. And yes,
absolutely.
they definitely needed this win more than Wisconsin. I totally agree. Pivoting off of Wisconsin for just a quick second, then we'll return to Wisconsin. Miami of Ohio lost today, which is
I
a big
saw
deal. Like they
it
were
is
31-0. What do you think, Mike? Should they be in the NCAA tournament?
absolutely, absolutely.
I
I think
agree.
they 100% should be in it. It's body of work. Like no matter how you look at it, they did not lose a game during the regular season, and no matter how you feel about their competition, some of it was not their fault, right? There's been posts that I've seen of the athletic director and the basketball program trying to schedule those games, and they just wouldn't. So it's one of those things. I think they absolutely deserve to be in there. It'll be interesting to see who they match up with. Hopefully they can make a little bit of noise to kind of shut some people up, because no matter any way you spin it, winning every game, especially at the men's level in this day and age, it's really, really challenging. Like a lot of things got to go right. So I think they should be rewarded for that. What are your
I
thoughts?
agree. Well, I definitely think they should make the tournament. I wanted them to get knocked out by Akron in the championship game and have it be a two-bid league, but I think, yeah, definitely they should make the tournament. And this actually could benefit them in a way where there's not additional pressure with the perfect record in their first round matchup where they can just hoop without that weight on their shoulders. So this could
Yeah,
end up being a positive. We don't know, but definitely they should be in the NCAA tournament. I thought that was a huge storyline. Then Marquette, Wisconsin's rival Marquette, they lost last night, and they're not going to be making the NCAA tournament. It looks like I thought they were going to make a nice run in the Big East tournament because they just kind of figure some stuff out late in the year. They're actually like not half bad now, but they lost to Xavier.
they're
No NIT even for Marquette this year, but I thought they would make a nice run in the Big East tournament until I saw that UConn would move down to the 2 seed. They would have had to play UConn in that second game, and Hurley would have had those boys ready to run them out the gym by 50 after Marquette beat them, and he got ejected with less than a second left in the game. Marquette
I
would
think
have had a
so.
rough game against UConn, but yeah. So thought I'll throw that in there. Mike, anything else you want to cover on the game today?
No, just looking forward to look forward to the next game against Illinois. Obviously, that's a big time opponent. It's really fun this time of year just because there's so many games stacked back to back. So yeah, just really looking forward to talking more basketball. I get to hang out with you almost every day this week, I think.
Let's go.
Which
We're going hard.
not a man, we're not having a bad week so far. We just had another interview this morning that'll come out here in the next couple of days, which I'm super excited about. Special guests, no sneak previews here. We're not doing that. Got to build the
It was a
suspense,
vibe
but
though.
yeah, but not no. Other than that, yeah, just looking forward to some good basketball here the next couple of days. And I mean, you got anything? What did you think? Did you get a little nervous there? How were you feeling? Were you a little nervous, Nelly? You were like, all right, whatever, we got this.
I never really got too nervous. I just I didn't think I wanted them to win, but I didn't think it'd be the end of the world if they lost. But I truly didn't feel like Washington, even when it looked like they might pull it off. They just didn't have the horses for me to
Didn't
be
feel
really
believed.
that
Yeah,
scared. Even when it was like a 1 point game, I'm like, I don't think Washington's gonna actually pull it off. They're just they don't have enough oomph. Like they got some horses. They got a first round pick and they got good athletes. But like I said, they're not that skilled of athletes. I had to put on an adult diaper. That's not me. That's me reading a comment. Yes, and
oh, that's too
also
good.
Also, Steinbach. We got to talk about this for a second.
Oh yeah,
25
we forgot to talk
points.
about Steinbach.
Yeah, 25 points, 16 boards, 2 assists, a steal, and 3 blocks, 0 turnovers, 6 offensive boards. My goodness, yeah, he was a problem. He was a problem. Any big that we were putting on him, he's like, all right, it's time to cook, and he did.
Yeah, I mean, if you think back to the game we played them up in Washington, we had Nolan Winter at that time, and he was able to limit him in terms of, not limit him, but also, it wasn't like it was today where it was just like, oh my goodness, this man is wrecking the game, and that's really what happened. He got so hyperactive on the offensive glass that gave them so many extra possessions that gave them confidence and defined flow, and that was really what the biggest thing that changed in the game. They went to a pressure defense, and yeah, Steinbach. He's going to make a lot of money. He's already made a lot of money as a freshman, I'm sure. But he's gonna be a nice player. I think he'll be a rotation piece in the NBA. I think he has that style of game. He meshes very well. He's very good with his hands. He's got a good looking 3-point shot. I think he shoots about 80% from the free throw line, and a lot of times that translates. So for me, he's going to be a really good pro. He had a nasty spin like Dirk one leg fadeaway on the baseline that I was like, oh, he's he's following in his footsteps there. It was cool. It was cool to see. So yeah, high level guy. Um, he's not going to be in college anymore, I don't think.
Does he remind you of anybody?
Um, I mean, he kind of reminds me a little bit of the Wagner brothers, not Mo, but
Okay,
who's
yeah,
the other one?
Mo. It would be Mo.
It'd be
Not
Mo. Yeah,
Franz. Yeah.
no, a little like, but he's a little bit more cross with Franz and Mo because Mo Wagner was just a little bit heavier, and he feels like he has that build of Franz though, or he's just really lanky and pretty skilled with the basketball, but his game is much more closer to Mo. So, I know they're Germans. We're not trying to put Germans in a pigeonhole here, but they do have a style, and those guys are good. They're extremely gifted.
Yeah, and just elite on the boards. It was good experience for both Belauskis and Rapp, and also Garlock. Right now, Garlock is a magnet for fouls. Right now, I love Garlock. Think he's got a bright future ahead of him. Had him on the show, great interview, but he's a magnet for fouls. He picked up 4 in 7 minutes.
I mean, he's doing his job though, right? Like he's coming in and he's making his presence felt. So for me, I don't like necessarily fouling so much, but the type of fouls he's getting, he's trying his best to protect the rim. He's making guys think about coming in there. I don't really want to deal with him. He's a huge human. Like
Yeah,
that doesn't feel good going in there. And for me, I love that role for him of coming in and just kind of being a bruiser. And the biggest thing with him right now is he's got to figure out proprioception. We've talked about this a couple of times on the show of just like he's got so much body, he's got so much human to deal with that it takes bigger guys like it just takes a little bit longer for them to figure out to get that proprioception of understanding where his body is in space. And I think he's shown flashes of it. So I'm really excited for him to continue to grow and as we see it.
100%. And overall, I thought it was a nice performance from him. I mean, you just look at the box
Yes.
score. He had that nice and one dunk. He knocked down the free throw, 2 blocks. He did exactly what Wisconsin needs from him, and he's so physically solid already as a true freshman that
Yeah.
that 5 to 7 minutes, like he's a great guy to be bringing off the bench just to bring some physicality and give other guys a breather. So he's really doing well in what his role is. And then also Hayden Jones. You know what I like about Hayden Jones, and I know you're a fan of his game. What I do like is his physicality, and he's a good athlete, but he's very switchable on defense. I like the lineup where they win a little small ball, and he was out there, and he was ready. I mean, you could just have him switch. I mean, he's physically solid enough where he can guard guys taller than him, and then he's also very athletic where he can switch on guys who are pretty quick. So I do like that switchability, and I think he'll be a nice player moving forward for Wisconsin. He had a
Yeah.
nice and one bucket too. So it's good to see both. Garlock get 7, Hayden get 10, Kinziger got 2 minutes. I think it's good that outside of Belauskis, Blackwell, and Boyd, like the other guys didn't play a ton. Just keep those legs fresh.
Yeah. I think, yeah. I mean, it's good to see that what you're seeing now is maturation processes. They always say like freshmen are no longer freshmen by the end of the year. the last 5 games of the Big Ten season and going through, the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament, you kind of turn back into freshmen because you don't really know how it goes. But they've grinded through this and they've grown in terms of just their confidence levels. Like Hayden Jones does not look scared to me anymore, which I love to see. He looks like, he looks like he's poised and more under control. He's not going to be over aggressive, but he doesn't look scared. He doesn't look like deer in the headlights. And same with Garlock. So I'm really happy with those guys. I'm excited to see their growth in their future, and they're going to still be an important part. That they're going to come in and they're going to give us a few minutes here in this postseason where we might need them to come in and just fill 2-3 minutes and not mess the game up, right? And I feel confident with that.
Yeah, 100%. And it's also it's very, just as we wrap this on up, but I think it's very, very important that all those guys are getting experience right now. And I think that just the legs being fresh in these wins, also winning while Nolan Winter is gone is actually a massive accomplishment. Like beating Washington without Nolan Winter, that's a big deal. And beating Purdue without Nolan Winter is a monumental deal. So I just want to throw that out there. Beating Washington, a team that does have some pieces, that's don't take that for
Helpful.
granted. But yeah,
Helpful.
I think that's a good stopping point, Mike. What about you?
Yeah, you know what, I'm good. I'm getting ready to go check out the women's national team, Puerto Rico versus United States. So I'm trying to go see me some Paige Beckers, some Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Plum. The U.S. team is stacked, so I'm trying to go take a shower, maybe shave a little bit, and go have a nice night of hoops.
Hey, good luck shooting your shot with Caitlin.
I'm okay with that. You know what? Like, I think I'll stay away from her. If it'd be anybody, it'd be at Paige because she's from Minnesota. We have some mutual friends. I feel like I'd have a shot. Be like, oh, you're from Minnesota, so am I. Like, oh my goodness, how
Well,
cool.
see, I'm not a fan of Connor McCaffrey, so if Mike starts showing off that 6'7" redhead charm and steals her away from Connor McCaffrey, I wouldn't lose sleep over that. So
Oh, she's dating somebody. Well, then never mind. I want zero issues. I had no idea. I'm not in that life. So thank you for telling me. I appreciate you telling me that. I just that was my only plug. It's because we're from Minnesota. That was what I was hoping for. So we'll be all right.
Well, yeah, that's Clark. That's Clark. I don't know about Becker's, but that was for Clark that she was dating Connor McCaffrey. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next time. This was the Brew with Matt and Mike. Thank you for watching. And yeah, stay tuned. We got some exciting things in the pipeline.